You also had some dramatic arcs on the show. Did you feel comfortable
Never,
acting? Never. Okay.
never, never. And it's the kind of thing Norman would say to me. We'd have these dramatic things. He says, "Now, didn't that feel good?" And I go, "No, no," because Norman and Alan, we got along as people. Really, we did. But creatively, we were diametrically opposed. And Norman and Alan both said to me many times, she says, "We beg of you, go get some acting lessons. It would really, really help you." And I said, "I'm not doing it." I'm talking about the first 3.5 years.
Right.
Literally every month they would go, and one time they brought a guy in just to look at what I do. I said, "I like what I do. That's fine." He said, "Would you please get some?" And Norman really was that kind of guy. And we got along, and there's no problems at all. But he just hated it. And what happened was, in the second or maybe second and a half year, I hate to say it, the laughs got so big, it was bigger than Norman Lear. And you know how big Norman Lear was.
Right.
And he just really just like said, if we could just get a couple of little acting noogies in, it would be great. It would expect, we know you like laughs, but boy, it would be so good.
You covered some really heavy topics on the show. Talk about using comedy to deal with things like the lady who had to eat dog food or
Norman
gang
Lear
violence or
was a guy who we covered every major subject except for AIDS, which was not an issue at that time. Anything to do with racism, anything to do with reverse racism. We did with Ralph, a couple of, whatever, Black Jesus. We did VD, Jay Leno, which I put him on the show. Thank you. Anything senior citizens eating dog food, senior citizens not having a place to live. Then in the comedic sense, senior citizens making love, having a sex life, which John and Esther went berserk about on, not in real life, but on the show, he had them play that out. And that's Norman. Norman will never be a Happy Days type of guy. He will never be a Gary Marshall type of guy. That's not what he does. He is a guy that loves issues, and he likes both sides of every issue played out. And you saw that in every show, All in the Family. Maude, which is his favorite show, and he will let you know. B. Arthur is his favorite actress, and he'll let you know. But he will tell you that when she did, what was it, a two-parter or a three-parter on the couch?
right.
It's just like
A monologue, just her talking to her therapist.
Oh, I think, quite honestly, normally I think had an orgasm during that show. That's just Norman. He loves that, man. And so our show definitely took the flavor of that. That's really what and even now, One Day at a Time, which is on now Netflix, and with Rita Moreno with an all Hispanic family. Issues. It's always issues with Norman. He will never just do, "Hey, we're just being funny here. We're just being wacky and zany." Norman is not a zany guy, and he's not he's not a soft comedy guy. Mary Tyler Moore just died. He would never do a show like that, even though he appreciated a show like that. Too soft. It's just not, they tackle no issues, and it's very soft. And he liked the show, don't get me wrong, but not for him. That's just the way he is.